Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at AHPI. Um, oops. If we take a look here at Market Watch, we can see that there are no news, or at least no fresh news for this stock. We have a headliner here, but it's just talking about how it's continuing to move up. So probably moving up from the earnings that were released 2 weeks ago. But no fresh news for AHPI. So let's take a look here at the levels. And we can see here that at the open, it just started to move up and it kept moving up for the first 10 minutes. We can see this range. Actually, I would consider the breakout from the first candle. So we can see this big move. So from 359 to 460, I mean, that's a $1 move. Uh, it's a pretty big move and it got halted. So it gets halted. And oh, by the way, let's also notice the volume, right? So on this first candle, we have 32,000 shares. And on this second candle, we have 76,000. So it's not a lot of volume. Actually, let's take a look at the float. So actually, I don't remember the float for this stock. I'm not even sure where to find it on Market Watch. I know it's on Market Watch. Public float. Okay, wow. So it's very low float. Um, so yes, low float stock, 2.2 million shares, and then you have on this candle only 76,000 volume. So that makes me think that even though it's low volume, we have low float. So these may have been mainly buyers just buying up the stock. Then it gets halted. uh, People start to notice, and it opens after the halt at right at the same price, 460, gets up to 524, and yes, some people took notice. There was a higher volume on this candle, 121,000. But then on the next candle, you have this big. Well, it's a drop. Uh, when you have halts, there's a lot of volatility. You see drops like this. But look at the volume on this candle. So 390,000, triple the previous candle's volume, and it's a red candle. And what I'm thinking here is that a lot of the traders that didn't get in right after the halt and that noticed after the first 5 minute candle, or maybe that did get in, but wanted to trade it twice or three times, they started to buy. But at this point, by this candle, there were people just started to sell more and more, and everyone just started to sell after one point when it didn't break the high. So we have this candle drops all the way down to um, 429, and then we have this next pullback candle. So this candle, you know, looking at it, I would have thought that it would be a good entry. Why? Because well, it's a doji candle. Sometimes that signifies, a near reversal. Uh, Also, it's very close to the 9 EMA. So, right here at the low, 427, I would have thought that, it would have been a good entry point. And also, it's got lower volume, at least compared to the previous candle. But, still right about the same volume as the first breakout, or sorry, the first candle after the halt. So we have this candle. Then we have the next one opens, and the breakout point should be 448. So the high of the previous candle is actually 447. There you go, 447. And what does it do? Um, it actually drops below the 9 EMA. Now it makes a new low. So not only is it below the 9 EMA, but it makes a new low. Now that doesn't always mean that the stock is completely bust, right? The move, the pattern, because there's happens quite often that um, the last pullback candle will make a new low, and then the next candle, or actually sometimes the same candle, uh, does a breakout. But on this one, it went below the 9 EMA, didn't quite reach the top of the previous candle, and then we have this next candle, and we have lower volume, taps the 9 EMA, doesn't make a new low, which is a good thing. So we're still watching it, right? Then we have this next candle, a little higher volume, but still nothing too crazy. Doesn't get to the breakout point, but it does make a new low. And not only that, but it does cross back below the 9 EMA again. So it does this. We have the next candle. And at this point, how many pullback candles do we have? One, two, three, four, five, six. At this point, guys, it's just not your picture perfect, or at least recognizable 5 minute bull flag pattern. Doesn't even have to be picture perfect. Uh, but it taps the 20 EMA. It respects it for a while, but then, and this is the reason why. Oops. This is the reason why I wanted to take a look at the stock, because it's not something that I'm very familiar with, but I wanted to take a look at it. But okay, so it continues trading along the 20 EMA. Then it breaks below it. Then it just is trading completely below the 20 EMA. But then there's this the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA cross paths, and it's not a strategy, a technical level that I'm familiar with, but it's the MACD, right? Moving average convergence divergence. I don't know if this is what it is. It kind of sounds like it is what it would be. This is what it would be. But we can see here that the moment it crosses over the two moving averages, uh, it breaks out a little bit. So we take a look here right at the where the moving averages intersect here. It's 402, and then we have this move up to 31 or so, which is a really nice move. I mean, if this is a strategy, if this is a solid strategy, I'm gonna look into it. But if this is something that it's I'm not gonna say that it never fails, but it has a pretty good success rate. I'm gonna start looking into trading these type of setups, because we may have weeks like this week where 5 minute bull facts are just not working out. So this is what I want to take a look at. I it's an odd week for me. Thankfully, I ended the day green, but just barely. Nothing to be excited about. Uh, but yeah, I just want to take a look at it. And if you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, please let me know. Uh, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys.